degrees on Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan.
This is a moment for us to acknowledge the contributions they've made and celebrate their academic achievement.
Soon, the house on King Road will be torn down, and somewhere close by on campus, they'll put up a sign, a plaque, a place to gather, so the victims will be remembered as the years go by, their names, and what happened here one terrible night on King Road.
Sometimes, my photo memories will pop up on my phone. I'll wake up and I'll find, videos of, Kaylee, and she's, dancing and singing. Xana just, smiling. Just, random photos of them.
What happens inside in your heart when you see that pop up unexpectedly?
I think, it hurts a little because, in my heart and, in my head, they should still be here, you know?
That's all for this edition of Dateline. We'll see you again Sunday at 7, 6 Central. And of course, I'll see you each weeknight for NBC Nightly News. I'm Lester Holt for all of us at NBC News. Good night.
Live on NBC 12, this is Newswatch 12 at 10.
Good evening, I'm Jessica Jukic. The past 2 decades, Pinecrest Nursing Home in Merrill lost money almost every year. It's one of the few county-owned homes in the state, but it may be sold soon. The Lincoln County Board now has to decide on the future of the nursing home. They can either sell it, keep it, or go to referendum to decide between the two. In a meeting on Tuesday, they decided to explore the idea of selling it.
That broker will present us, if there's a market, present us with the offers that the private industry is willing to put forward, and then the board will have to debate on whether or not that's the direction they want to go.
As the only publicly owned nursing home in Lincoln County, the board says they will only make a choice if they feel it's best for the residents, staff, and taxpayers. At this point, no decision is final. After hearing from the broker, they will meet again as a committee and hope to have a decision on what to do by the end of next year. Jeff, it's a cool night. What can we expect this weekend?
Well, today had issues, right? Temperatures in the 50s, cool out there, some drizzle, some wind, and now that's going to change, though. Tomorrow, sunshine and 70s are back in the forecast. Tomorrow's go outside now and check on high temperatures from today or not so high temperatures from today. Keep in mind the average high is in the upper 60s. Nobody did that today. But hold on, tomorrow we'll get there. Most likely, many of us will have high temperatures tomorrow in the low 70s. But out there today, 52 is all we did in Rhinelander. 51 for Eagle River. Okay, currently, though, it's 45 in Rhinelander, 42 Eagle River. It's cool out there, that northwest breeze as well, and the dew points are low, and that's kind of our problem for tonight. We got a speed bump, and that's going to be tonight. The skies are going to clear out. The dew points are kind of low. The wind's going to die down. That'll allow for radiational cooling, and that could give some areas some frost tonight, especially along and north of Highway 8, with low temperatures in the low to mid 30s. All right, the clouds are getting out of here now. The clear skies are moving in. That means lots of sunshine for us tomorrow and for Sunday and for Monday and for Tuesday. Your forecast, though, tonight, though, is mostly clear skies, some frost possible late with low temperatures down near 35. Your full forecast is coming up, Jessica.
2 police officers were killed in a roadside shootout in northwestern Wisconsin last month. Investigators released a report on the killer today, saying he was struggling with a divorce and didn't like getting pushed around by police. Authorities say 50-year-old Glenn Perry shot and killed police officers Ryan Scheel and Merrill-born Emily Breidenbach during a traffic stop on April 8th. According to a new report, Perry's ex-wife said she thought Perry was schizophrenic and that he slept with a gun under his pillow. According to an ex-girlfriend, Perry bought guns every week and had 5 in the trunk of his vehicle at one point. The Lac du Flambeau Ojibwe asked their members to vote on the question, do you approve of the tribe entering into the cannabis business? Voters overwhelmingly said yes. The question was posed in an election this week and passed by a margin of 171 to 11. This makes the Lac du Flambeau tribe the latest in a group of multiple tribes which are exploring the possibility of selling marijuana on their lands. The Menominee and Ho-Chunk nations have also looked into growing and selling marijuana. It's a legal gray area since it's legal in some states, even though it's technically illegal on the national level. Efforts to begin growing and selling the drug may require negotiations between individual tribes and the U.S. It's hard to keep playing team sports like hockey and football past graduation, but shooting sports can be a lifelong hobby. Students from Wisconsin gathered in Harshaw Friday for the first day of the Northwoods Open. More than 300 students are registered for the two-day competition that began on Friday at the Harshaw Sports Club. Students could choose between shooting 100 targets on the trap range or 100 sporting clays, and some may even choose both.
So all 12 stations around the course are set up differently to simulate hunting type presentations. So targets will come flying at you from behind you, from the left and from the right. We even have one station where we have a rabbit target that'll roll across the ground that the kids will have to try to shoot.
The event is sanctioned through the Scholastic Clay Target program and teaches kids safety above all else. The competition continues Saturday at 9 a.m. and the public is invited to come cheer on the students. The Hodag, as you know, is the mascot of Rhinelander. Coming up, we'll hear about the history of the Hodag after Weather with Jeff right here on Newswatch 12.
Oh, boy, would you look at that field goal he kicked right there?
That looks fantastic. Boy, it looks like you need to stop at Tomahawk Furniture and Gun.
Furniture and guns?
They've got everything you need at great prices. Recliners, sofas, mattresses.
And guns?
Have you ever been challenged, been tried, made a pact with your own limits? Have you been here, there, places no one should go? If you have, then you know that whatever you're capable of, so are we. No wonder Ford SUVs lead in brand loyalty. Now get a new Ford Edge with 0% APR financing for 36 months, only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
Marco! Polo! Marco! Polo! Marco? Polo? Marco? Polo?
Get lost in the biggest showroom in the USA. We will beat any deal by $500. Then power your new boat with Suzuki Outboards. 3 giant showrooms of boats, pontoons, and Suzuki Outboards only at American Marine, Shawano.
Visit Ho-Chunk Gaming Nakusa to experience exciting action on the hottest slot machines and electronic table games. With big fun, you get bigger rewards while playing with your Rewards Club card. Enjoy special gaming offers, food and entertainment discounts, and more. Hungry? No problem. Escape to the oasis of Swiftwater Lounge for drinks, food, and fun. We'll see you at Ho-Chunk Gaming Nakusa, your place to play.
Our phones keep us constantly connected.
Please switch to airplane mode.
But what if they had a mode to help us actually connect? Introducing Us Mode, a mode that makes our phones less distracting, so we can focus on quality time. So the notifications we get are the ones that matter. So we're never distracted from what's most important. Visit US Cellular in-store or online to set up Us Mode for free, even if you're not a customer. US Cellular, built for us.
All right, it's Friday night. The clouds are getting out of here right now. That means tomorrow, plenty of sunshine after some cool temperatures tonight as the clouds are going to the east of us. Currently, we're left with nothing but clear skies overnight tonight and throughout the day tomorrow and for Sunday and for Monday and for Tuesday. We're going to unfold a long, dry stretch now with plenty of sunshine and slowly warming temperatures. Here's our speed bump, though. Dew points. They're in the 30s in some locations now and likely to fall into the mid, even low 30s tonight. Now, this is the temperature to which the actual air temperatures could fall tonight, and that means the air gets saturated, and that means we could get some frost after midnight tonight, likely 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. So if you have some sensitive plants out there, or you're already planting your garden, put a cover on it, especially areas along and north of Highway 8 with some frost in the forecast for us tonight. Okay, after highs today, it did this, right? I told you low 50s for highs today is going to feel like death, right? And it did. It was cold out there today. The wind out of the northwest, the dew points are kind of high. But overall, we're going to fix this tomorrow because we have much warmer temperatures on the way. In fact, we're going to go for low 70s tomorrow and stay there for a while. The average high is now 68, the average low 42, the record high. Here's what the atmosphere can do. 86 back in 1911, a long time ago, I know. And the sun set earlier at 8:27. Okay, precipitation-wise, we're entering a long dry stretch now, but we're still well above the averages at 12.22 inches for the year when the average is 7.70. So we are well ahead of that, and there's not much rain in our forecast for us anytime soon. Okay, there are cooler temperatures, though. So right now, 45 in Rhinelander, 47 for Merrill, 45 for Antigo. This is not normal. A bit cool with the clear skies on the way. They're going to drop even further across our region tonight. In fact, going forward, temperature-wise, recovery, we got that on the forecast, right? 73 tomorrow, 72 for Sunday, 75 Monday. That's an 81 for Tuesday. I pulled back temperatures a bit for Wednesday and Thursday, but who cares? We're talking about temperatures in the mid to upper 70s still through much of next week into the week beyond. Our forecast ends tonight, though. We're talking about partly cloudy skies to mostly clear skies. Some frost is possible along and north of Highway 8 with low temperatures generally down near 35 with that northwest breeze around 5. For tomorrow, it's Saturday. Look at this. Lots of sunshine tomorrow. Really nice out there. Long lines probably tomorrow at the boat landings, at the car washes, pretty much everywhere with everybody outside. Tomorrow, hardware stores too. Nurseries, 73 for a high with that northwest breeze around 5. And then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress shows a long dry stretch unfolding now. 70s tomorrow and for Sunday and for Monday. There's a 81 for Tuesday before we level off in the upper 70s Wednesday, maybe a bit cooler over next weekend. Jessica?
Thank you, Jeff. The Federal Reserve appears split on whether to continue to raise interest rates. Some officials worry inflation isn't falling fast enough. But Reserve Board Chairman Jerome Powell indicated on Friday that inflation will take some time to fall. The Fed launched its most aggressive rate hiking campaign since the 1980s in March of last year to battle inflation. Some worry the Fed's actions could push the economy into a recession. The Fed will meet again next month to decide whether to raise interest rates for an 11th consecutive time. Some police officers left their usual beat this morning in Rhinelander and went to a popular coffee shop chain's roof. Cops on a Rooftop is an annual fundraiser to help raise money for Special Olympics Wisconsin. The event happened at 66 Dunkin' locations across the state today. A sergeant with the Rhinelander Police Department says being on a rooftop is quite different.
Yeah, you got to conquer a little bit of a fear of heights. We're not firemen, so we got to climb the ladder here and get up there. So, I mean, it's a little different element for us.
This is the 11th year that Dunkin' and law enforcement have teamed up. Since then, they've raised around $500,000 for Special Olympics Wisconsin. Today was a big day for several high school athletes, and it was deja vu for two of the top soccer teams in northern Wisconsin. Saul Meyer will have the highlights after the break.
Come to Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale and get the best for free. Through Saturday, get free installation on our best-selling carpet, free estimates, and interest-free financing. That's right. Free carpet installation, free estimates, and interest-free financing. Only at Carpet City Flooring Center. Come see why contractors and designers choose Carpet City Flooring Center for their flooring needs. And get the best for free.
Carpet City, our prices will floor you.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series trucks to help save the day. Stretch the weekend, haul, or tow just about anything, anywhere. That's because they're built Ford tough. And it's why Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. And for that, we thank you. Now lease an F-150 STX for $419 a month for 36 months, plus get $1,000 trade assist cash only at your Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers.
Oh, no, I think I lost my debit card.
Okay, don't panic.
Don't panic. We're in a mall. Some stranger's probably tapping new shoes, tapping a washer-dryer combo, just tapping everything in sight.
It's okay. Just tap your phone. With BMO, you can use your phone to freeze and unfreeze a lost card.
I can?
And you can always get a new card instantly at a BMO branch.
I got my tap back.
You ever seen someone this excited about a debit card before?
Oh, yeah. Not this excited.
When a bank gives you instant peace of mind, that's the BMO effect.
Okay, everyone, our mission is complete balanced nutrition. Together, we provide nutrients to support immune, muscle, bone, and heart health.
Ensure with 25 vitamins and minerals. Enter the $10,000 Nourishing Moments giveaway.
Hi, have you seen that realtor with all those billboards?
Hold my beer.
Get local, award-winning injury lawyers. Get Nicolay.
Two of the top teams in girls soccer for the Great Northern Conference, Lakeland Union and Rhinelander, had an awesome match almost a month ago. That one saw the T-Birds win it on their home turf, and today Rhinelander was hoping to do the same to split their season series. But the T-Birds were also looking to win it on the road to clinch the conference championship. Let's see if they could do it. Here in the first half, the T-Birds tried to score first and score fast. Josie Wentland launches this free kick, and it hits the crossbar inches away from scoring the first goal of the day. But the Hodag struck back. Morgan Van Zyles on a breakaway, and Ava Evenhouse is there to block it, but not clear it. And Ava Lamers lasers this shot, but Evenhouse is able to recover and corral it in to keep the Hodags off the board. Then, later that half, Wentland finds Allison Lazaroff, who shoots it from way downtown, and it finds the back of the net for a T-Bird goal, and Lakeland Union is going to go on to win this thing 1-0 to clinch the Great Northern Conference. Athletes work day in and day out for state titles, medals, and records. With great dedication comes great rewards. But you can't stay in high school forever. Some athletes are good enough to be able to take their talents to the next level. Newswatch 12 Serenity Douglas caught up with 6 eager athletes ready to move on to college.
Dedication, your work ethic are unbelievable.
Rhinelander High School held their signing day for 6 very special athletes. Jack Antonuck signed to St. Norbert College, and Carter Gaber signed an athletic scholarship to St. Ambrose University.
Coach Jenny, Coach Brent, and Coach Dan Jesse for all the help they've been out through high school.
This last year was a cumulative effort by not only myself, but everyone around me. So thank you.
Coach Kramer is the head football coach, and he's very excited to see his athletes signing their name on the dotted line.
I'm really, really proud of what he's been able to accomplish in his 3 years of starting and his 4 years of high school football. Congratulations, Con.
First, I would like to thank my parents. Without them, I wouldn't be up here today. From the late practices, to coming supporting me at games, and to the countless doctor visits, I couldn't be more thankful to have them as my biggest supporters.
But that wasn't the only athlete. Brendan Eckrish signed to UW Eau Claire.
He's the guy you want to be your friend, and I'm thankful to know Brendan all the way from 6th grade on and see him grow as a young man, and I can't wait to watch him on Saturdays as well.
I'm really excited for this next chapter, and I can't thank Eau Claire enough for the opportunity to, like Coach Kramer is saying, maximize my potential and really show people the player that I know I can be.
Wrestling's Abby Swanson put the pen to paper signing an athletic scholarship to Northern Michigan. And finally, swimmer Jenna Fugel signed to Olivet Nazarene University.
I can't pick a favorite thing about swimming because every day swimming with all of you has been my favorite thing, and I'm just so grateful for all of it. Thank
you. Reporting in Rhinelander, I'm Serenity Douglas, Newswatch 12.
Both Mosinee and Medford were in action today after clinching a share of the Great Northern Conference in baseball. Mosinee traveled up to Merrill, where they were able to win their game 7-5 against the Blue Jays on the road. The team that Mosinee shared the conference title with, Medford, headed over to Stratford today. That game was pretty close, with the Raiders getting the 4-3 win over the Tigers. Former Cleveland Brown and Pro Football Hall of Famer Jim Brown has died. He was 87 years old. Brown was taken by the Cleveland Browns as the number 6 overall pick in the 1957 draft, and he became an instant star. He then stunned the football world when he suddenly retired after only 9 seasons and quickly refocused his career on acting. A football hero, Brown was also a civil rights activist, and off the field, Brown will be remembered for his contributions to American society. On the field, many experts call him the best running back that football has ever seen. We'll be right back after the break.
Flow aluminum dock systems are made to bring time at the lake to a whole new level. You can create any layout you want and accessorize it for comfort and fun. They are strong, stable, safe, and they add a beautiful touch to your shoreline that will last indefinitely. Maybe it's time to join the thousands of other families that have turned their dock into a shoreline paradise. Maybe it's time for a Flow from Jensen Akins of Conover or Three Lakes Docks and Lifts.
Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2.
He's going to speak now.
The good news. U.S. Cellular gives you $1,200 off any phone with no trade-in needed.
Wow.
So, friend who always has a broken phone can finally get a new one.
Oh, it's just a scratch. It's broken.
Oh.
Oop. It's busted.
We're good.
Oh, no.
Get $1,200 off any phone with no trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular. Built for us.
Get out the s'mores recipe, because we've saved the best and biggest for last. Ho Chunk Gaming Wittenberg's Camper's Delight final giveaway is coming this Memorial Day weekend. Now is your chance to win travel trailer number 3, a new KZ Connect 241 RLK from King's Camper with room to sleep 5, including the king bed, plus an outdoor kitchen under the 18-foot awning and more. A new e-scooter and $2,000 in camping cash, just in time for Memorial Day weekend. Camper's Delight with Ho Chunk Gaming Wittenberg. See the Rewards Club for details. Must be 21 or over to play.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick perks itself. That's so you.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
I got a 6th sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you. Get 2.49% APR and no monthly payments for 90 days. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get $750 purchase allowance on Buick Encore GX models. Visit your North Central Wisconsin Buick dealer.
At Northwoods Furniture and Mattress, we're celebrating 16 years of helping you make your home your own with furniture and mattresses you love. We carry top brands, Lazy Boy, Flex Steel, Sealy, Tempur-Pedic, and more. We also offer the area's largest selection of Amish-built furniture. Most items are in stock and available for express delivery. Personalize your home with a variety of unique lamps, wall art, accents, and area rugs. Visit our 2 family-owned furniture stores in Eagle River for exceptional selections, service, and savings.
Is a VO.
Connecting the dots, reliving Northwood's history with Carrie Bladorn.
Hodags? What are they? Are they a monster? A furry lizard? A cryptid like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster? Are they real or are they a hoax? The answer to all those questions is yes. What started as a lumberjack tall tale has morphed into a cultural phenomenon in Wisconsin, especially Rhinelander, the home of the hodag. As the lumber industry moved across the northern Pine Belt during the 1800s, lumberjacks honed the craft of bunkhouse storytelling. Hodags are one of the creatures spun into yarns along with Paul Bunyan, Babe the Blue Ox, and others. A hodag was said to be the spirit of a cremated lumber oxen and named after a tool called a grub hoe. In the 1890s, a man named Eugene Shepard was working as a timber cruiser, a surveyor, and a map maker based in Rhinelander, a fledgling logging boomtown on the Wisconsin River. Gene had a talent for storytelling and showmanship, and he was to bring hodags out of the lumber camp bunkhouse and into America's imagination. In 1893, Gene claimed to have discovered a real live hodag in the forest near Rhinelander. The creature was 7 feet long and 300 pounds, walked on all fours with stout, muscular legs, armed with sharp claws. It had the head of a frog and the grin of an elephant, dinosaur-like with spikes down its back, covered in hair, oxen-like horns, and a mouthful of ferocious fangs. Gene wrote an article for the New North newspaper describing his subsequent attempt to capture a hodag. Armed with heavy rifles and large-bore squirt guns filled with poisonous water, Gene and a rough-and-tumble party set out to capture the brute. During the battle, the fire-breathing black hodag was blown up by dynamite. Over the next few years, Gene continued crafting his hodag tales, entertaining guests at his resort on Ballard Lake near Star Lake, Wisconsin, keeping one in effigy on the property. In 1895, the Oneida County Fair sought the colorful Gene Shepard out to develop a calling card for the first fair to be held in 1896. It was at this time Gene purported to have captured another live hodag, which he kept in a pit at his home, feeding the beast its favorite meal, white bulldogs, but only on Sundays. In true sideshow fashion, Gene set up shop at the county fair, bringing his captured hodag for all to see. For 10 cents, you could enter a dimly lit tent and view the beast in person. Those that dared enter saw a black-furred creature, spikes down its back, oxen-like horns, and giant teeth in its mouth, complete with vicious snarls and thrashing, and a horrid stench. Thousands of spectators went away from the fair that year believing in hodags. He then took his hodag specimen to other county fairs, even making it to the Wisconsin State Fair. Word of the hodag on display traveled around the country, catching the ears of people like circus man P.T. Barnum and the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C., whom began inquiring about the validity of the reports. Gene then had to bring the hodag into the light, explaining it had all been an elaborate hoax perpetrated for fun. His hodag was a carved log stretched with smelly oxhide, adorned with horns and connected to wires, giving it the appearance of movement. Even though the hodag was out of the tent, so to speak, it did little to stop the stories and legends of hodags from continuing to circulate around Rhinelander and beyond. Over time, the city began to embrace Gene Shepard's famous hodag as their own, weaving it into the cultural fabric of the community. In 1918, the Rhinelander High School published its first yearbook titled The Hodag. Soon after, reporters began referring to Rhinelander sports teams as the Hodags, and eventually they would adopt the beast as its official mascot. Graduates and students of Rhinelander High School and residents past and present are often referred to as Hodags. Gene lived out his life at an estate on Prospect Street in Rhinelander, always keeping a hodag on site for visitors. He died in 1923 and is buried in Rhinelander. Even with Gene's passing and the knowledge of his hodag hoax, Rhinelander has continued using hodags for publicity, marketing, and most of all, for fun. A simple Google search will pull up hundreds of artist depictions of hodags, as the creature has captured the minds of people all over the world. Hodags have been featured in the Scooby-Doo cartoon, as well as in the popular J.K. Rowling book Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them in the Harry Potter universe. Locally, hodags appear as the mascot for the long-running Hodag Country Music Festival, which draws 30,000 to 50,000 people to Rhinelander each year. Sculptures, murals, yard ornaments, businesses, an annual Hodag Heritage Festival, and even a whole store dedicated to Hodag souvenirs can be found in Rhinelander. Gene Shepard's famous Frank has taken on a life of its own over the past 130 years. Even though it might be hard to track down a flesh and blood hodag these days, the hodag legacy is alive and well in Rhinelander, Wisconsin. From the home of the hodag, I'm Carrie Bladorn, and this has been Connecting the Dots, reliving Northwood's history on Newswatch 12.
Connecting the Dots, reliving Northwood's history with Carrie Bladorn.
Thank you for watching Connecting the Dots on WJFW. If you have any Northwoods history you'd like to see covered on this program, feel free to send me a message on my Facebook page, Carrie Bladorn, Northwoods Historian, or email me at northwoodshistorian@gmail.com.
Newswatch 12's Big Old Fish is brought to you by Kurt's Island Sports Shop in Minocqua.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
All right, I've got a question for y'all. What TV game show do fish like best? Well, of course, it's Name That Tuna. All right, after that sour note, we will just get right into this week's Big Old Fish with 4-year-old Trevor, who caught this stout 19-inch northern while fishing with his grandpa Scott on the Cisco chain. Incidentally, he was using a rainbow jig and a minnow. Well, Trevor, not only did you catch this stout 19-inch Northern, but you released it to fight again another day. Now, how cool is that? Well, there's not much else I can say, but that is one big old fish, Trevor. Way to go. Keep on reeling them in. I'll talk about starting off Super Bowl Sunday the right way. Next up on this week's Big Old Fish, we have Tim Brandt from Rhinelander, who caught a pair of 15-inch crappies, pictured here with the first one. And he caught these back in February, as I stated, on Super Bowl Sunday on Crescent Lake using a jig and waxy. Incidentally, he goes on to say that both fish were released. Again, how cool is that? 2 15-inch crappies released back to fight another day? That's awesome, Tim. Way to go. Keep on reeling them in. And finally on this week's Big Old Fish, we have Eva Every. Now, there's not a whole lot of information given here, but it does say that this is a 19 3/4-inch fatty walleye. Well, I can't argue with that. That is one chunky walleye, and it is one big old fish, Eva. Way to go. Keep on reeling them in. All right, fishermen and women, make sure to keep those trophy pictures coming. All the information you need to be in a future episode of Big Old Fish and win a Northern Taxidermy fish mill is on our website, WJFW.com. And remember, anglers, fish on.
At Len's Truck, we're all trucks all the time. Nobody has a better selection of used trucks. Ford, Chevy, Ram, GMC, over 800 of the best used trucks money can buy. Buy now and get the highest trade-in value ever at Len's. Go to lenstruck.com. That's lenstruck.com.
Len's Truck. Len's Truck. We got the trucks at Len's Truck.
Do you feel uneasy, irritable? Does your internet bill make you anxious? You may be suffering from UPH, unexpected price hikes. It happened to me. And then I switched to T-Mobile and got 5G home internet for just $50 a month. Now I'm sleeping better, my skin is glowing, and my hair has never been so shiny. Most importantly, T-Mobile has price lock guarantee. They will never raise your internet rate, ever. Switch to T-Mobile home internet. It worked for me. And just look at that shine. Wait, what has the internet got to do with my hair?
You've got this. 10 days, 2 kids, and the open road. Tourist traps? Set. Souvenir allowances? Dispersed. Juice boxes? Abundant. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you, with access to over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs. So when must-see attractions become must-pay with cash adventures, we've got you.
Mom, why is the front door open?
You've got this with Associated Bank.
Marco! Polo! Marco! Polo! Marco? Polo? Marco? Polo?
Get lost in the biggest showroom in the USA. We will beat any deal by $500. Then power your new boat with Suzuki Outboards. 3 giant showrooms of boats, pontoons, and Suzuki Outboards only at American Marine, Shawano.
Bam! My accident? My accident happened in a second.
My settlement? That's taking a really long time.
If you've been injured in an accident and need money now while your case settles, call Oasis today. We'll work with your attorney, and if you're approved, get you $500 to $100,000 in as little as 24 hours. If you lose your case, you don't have to pay Oasis back, ever. Applying for Oasis Express Cash is easy and takes 3 minutes. Call Oasis now or go online to apply.
Bruce Orthodontics, changing lives one smile at a time. Rhinelander, Minocqua, Eagle River, Phillips, and the greater Northwoods area. Treating patients of all ages.
Welcome back. I'm Jessica Jukic.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Stay classy, Wisconsin.
Jeff and I were talking about this earlier, that his suit looks just like Ron Burgundy from Anchorman. And look at that side-by-side comparison. Which one's Jeff? Which one's Will Ferrell? Who knows?
You need to grow out a mustache.
Right? Sunny 70s out there in Wisconsin right now, with takeoff 30 degrees from that currently, with temperatures in the 40s right now. But you know, it's going to be a kind of a unclassy evening with some temperatures in the 40s and 30s out there. Maybe some frost out there too, but then we're going to recover real nicely. So here we go. This 7-day forecast includes includes lots of sunny 70s, just like San Diego. Maybe even a couple low 80s in there Tuesday into Wednesday of next week.
Love that.
Right.
And I love that suit. It's a great color.
Fantastic.
So keep it
Need the
coming.
mustache to go with it.
Yeah. Thanks, Jeff.
And grow it.
That's all the time we have. We'll see you back here next week. Have a great weekend.
Our phones keep us constantly connected.
Please switch to airplane mode.
But what if they had a mode to help us actually connect? Introducing Us Mode, a mode that makes our phones less distracting, so we can focus on quality time. So the notifications we get are the ones that matter. So we're never distracted from what's most important. Visit US Cellular in-store or online to set up Us Mode for free, even if you're not a customer. US Cellular, built for us.
At Honda, we offer complimentary maintenance for 2 years or 24,000 miles. Just enjoy the ride, knowing we cover routine items like oil changes, tire rotations, and multi-point inspections. Honda Service Pass, available to purchasers of all 2023 Honda vehicles. Get yours today.
In 1930, we began helping people in Milwaukee who were hurt and killed by the carelessness of others. For more than 90 years, the awards for our clients totals well into the billions of dollars, probably more than all the other personal injury firms in the state combined. When entering a negotiation, it helps to have that reputation on your side. We have the talent and resources to take on the big corporations for regular people all over Wisconsin. Habish, Habish & Mortier.